Hi everyone, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of January 17th to January 23rd. The deck we'll be using today is the Shadowscapes Tarot, a stunning watercolor deck inspired by surrealism, legends, folklore, and it has great detail and very colorful images. It's very interesting because it combines Asian and Celtic symbols. And you can check out last week's predictions if you click on the video on top right of the screen. Or if you're looking for a more personal tarot reading, you can always find me on my website, an easy-to-use online platform, www.kassiekai.com, where me and other psychics offer online psychic readings, tarot, astrology. But let's see what kind of energies we will experience this week. For Aries, we had the Three of Wands last week, and this week it's the Knight of Cups. Last week must have put you in a virtual waiting room as you were waiting for a reaction from someone or a move to see what kind of results the efforts you've made would produce. And this week you will get a very positive response, as the Knight of Cups is a message bearer and he will bring good news, especially if your focus is on a romantic or personal relationship. Knights are all about force and swiftness, and even though this one is a slower knight, you will still see an expression of feelings of love and passion coming on fast and strong. You will probably get an invitation or an offer, and that will be the result of actions and efforts you did in the past. There might be a trip you will organize with your partner or the person you are interested in, or you will plan a journey for love reasons. Knights have the capacity to affect change, and that's why these days there will be a turning point towards more feelings and openness in a relationship. The Knight of Cups is a helper, which means that you may have to help someone this week, and this person is someone you love, a friend, a partner, or a relative, or you may find yourself in need of help and someone will come to your aid. It's very possible that someone will come to you offering an olive branch this week, so if a personal relationship, either romantic or friendship, has been challenged or broken up lately, expect that there will be a reconciliation, or at least the first steps that will later lead to a reconciliation. Artistic endeavors of any kind are favored this week, so if you are an artist or if you are involved in a creative project, this week you will make good progress and there will be positive news and very positive feedback. Also, the Knight of Cups often broods over things, and that's why your moods may be affected a little. For example, when something happens, you may magnify it on your mind, and that may affect your feelings too. The Knight of Cups brings fantasies, daydreaming, so you may find yourself being in a dreamy mood this week. Think of events that happened between 14 October and 12 November, and there might be something that will be resolved this week, or you will have to rethink and revise a decision you made back then and see if what you decided is something that you still want or not. For Taurus, we had the Queen of Swords and now it's the Fool. Discussions, communications and ideas you had last week under the energy of the Queen of Swords will open a new door for you, and life will manifest an opportunity that will allow you to make a fresh start. And that seems to be a very promising new beginning, because the energy of the Fool indicates that there will be many options and opportunities to choose from, as the Fool basically represents life's infinite possibilities and potential. And maybe you are deciding to give a relationship a new chance after a very serious talk you had the previous days, or after information that brought you clarity and things that were confusing are now very clear on your mind. The Fool is astrologically associated with the planet Uranus, and that's a planet of surprises and unexpected events, and is also known as the Awakener, because with this energy you might get a wake-up call that will suddenly make you realize the reality of a situation, and you will know that under the energy of the Fool, anything is possible, but that's not without taking risks. There's always a risk involved with this card, and at times a leap of faith is needed in order for you to liberate yourself from stale and stagnant energies that are holding you back. Expect that something will be offered to you by the universe, a new job or a new relationship, or even a revelation that will help you make a very drastic decision, a decision that may surprise other people, and they may even be shocked by your words or your actions. If you are wondering how a situation will progress, expect the unexpected. Developments will probably be fast, the Fool is an air card anyway, and the block will suddenly be removed from the way. If you are wondering about someone's feelings, your connection needs to grow a little first, as feeling seems to be in the early stages of development, but they are feeling very good around you. However, expect some ups and downs, because with the airy nature of this card, feelings can change rapidly and there might be some mood swings. For Gemini, we had the Magician, and now it's the Ten of Wands. This week you will work very hard, and that might feel like you are carrying a heavy burden, and by working, I don't necessarily mean as in a job, but it could be that you are working on a relationship or that you are making efforts to make something happen. But since the Magician you got last week is the card of the self, and the Ten of Wands shows that you take this entire burden on yourself, perhaps you should consider sharing this heavy load, which means that if you are the only one from the persons involved in a situation or in a relationship who's making the effort, things need to change. Otherwise, you will feel really exhausted and frustrated. The Magician represents the mind, so you may find that under all this pressure, you are not thinking straight and you are not viewing reality as it is. Doing the job yourself all the time will not work out in the long run, and you will soon feel fed up. There will be a strong desire to create the most that you can possibly create of a situation, but at times you will feel overwhelmed. If you are pushing too hard, that will cause a resistance and opposition. You and someone else have conflicting needs at the moment, and as long as you are standing your ground, things cannot get stable. Something's got to give. Events that happened between 13 and 20 December this week will probably come to a resolution or completion, especially since tens show the final stages of a situation and that a cycle is soon being completed and you are about to enter a new chapter. Under this energy, you may notice that someone is trying to get away with something they did, and maybe they are taking distance or they are trying to disappear for a while. The Ten of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius, which means that this week there will be a clash between the desire to live life to the fullest and the limitations something or someone will put in your way. However, intellectual endeavors are favored, so you will get an advantage if you are having exams or if you want to apply to a school or if you want to learn something new. For Cancer, we had the Queen of Pentacles, and this week it's the Tower. There will be an unexpected revelation this week, and the truth will come out in a way that will change the current situation. The Queen of Pentacles you had last week points to practical matters involving career, money, practical everyday issues that you need to resolve, but also matters that have to do with how you feel secure and safe in your own environment. And that could be either emotionally or physically safe. So the Tower comes up this week and brings sudden realizations, a moment of clarity, and it's possible that you or another person will decide to do what is the socially responsible things to do, or maybe you will realize that someone is less invested in a relationship that you thought they were, or you will feel that you are not as emotionally vested in something as you were before. And in fact, this week you may decide to follow a very different path. Keep in mind that people will be unpredictable, so you won't be able to rely on anything or anyone this week, as energies will be changing rapidly. The most important thing under this influence is to go where the energy takes you. Don't try to go against the tide and to resist, because that will cause even more trouble. So try to be flexible, because the universe is telling you that your life is in need of new directions. Astrologically, the Tower is associated with Mars, and keep in mind that Mars always likes to fight, and this is a very high energy card, so there's a high risk of fights and arguments. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, the Tower shows a very sudden shift, a change of heart due to a shocking and unexpected realization that this person had, or a very disruptive experience or event that made them take a 180 turn. And that means the situation will probably change drastically. And I know that the Tower is a feared card in Tarot, but if things have been stuck and stagnant for too long, at times the intervention of life is needed for us to move forward and to be forced to make some positive changes, especially in the case that we were not able to bring about those changes by our own. So you can see the Tower as a divine intervention that puts us back on track. For Leo, we had the Chariot and now the Five of Swords. You may have to deal with some drama this week, because the Five of Swords is a disruptive card. It shows contrasts, fights, arguments, and maybe you pushed something or someone a little too much under the energy of the Chariot that you had last week, and now there is reaction and opposition. The energy of the Chariot is that of victory, and you may feel that you want to win at all costs now, and because of that you will probably continue to put pressure and force, but you need to keep in mind that could generate even more tension and opposition in an already strained situation, and before you know it, you will have in your hands a full-on battle with someone. And maybe something will happen or something will be said, and negative feelings will be generated, and maybe you will even want to get revenge. So this might be a week of weird energies, and you may feel that emotionally you need to head in a certain direction, but you will find that the universe has other plans, and you will try to get a grip through this erratic energy, and that might bring a feeling of defeat into the week. However, the Five of Swords is Venus in Aquarius, and this energy is giving you the chance to explore higher levels of intellectual connection with someone, and that means you will be able to have a meeting of the minds with them, especially if you are willing to consider their point of view. Be cautious though, because there might be mind games, lying, and manipulative behavior, and that's because we do have Venus here that wants love, but Aquarius wants independence. So there will probably be a challenge to make those two energies work harmoniously together. But if you manage not to try to outwit each other all the time, then you can have a very special connection. There will be some very significant events that will happen between 20 and 29 January, so something you've been expecting for a while now will probably manifest around that time, and you will be successful if you manage to remain in complete control, no matter who or what is in your way. For Virgo, we had the Two of Wands, and now it's the Nine of Cups. It appears that you made the right decision last week, because the Nine of Cups this week shows that you will be satisfied with what you have attained. And you will feel a sense of completion, and you will give yourself a pat on the back, and other people will give you praise and their approval. Wonderful news is coming your way, and a time to celebrate your progress. That doesn't have to be a big celebration. It could be that you are buying yourself a small gift, or that another is giving you something to show you their appreciation. There might be an important dinner that you will have to attend, a party or a social meeting, which should not be missed, or you will have to organize such an event. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, the Nine of Cups indicates that they feel very satisfied with you and they want to have a strong connection to you. If we are talking about a professional connection, it appears that they want to work with you, or if it's a personal relationship, you will find that you feel attracted to each other and the spark of sexual tension between you is there strong. You can expect that the situation will progress in a way that will make you feel very happy. And you are at the stage of completion anyway, so you may want to step back and think carefully about your next move. Don't rest on your laurels at this stage, but don't act hastily either. And if you still have a dilemma or doubts or second thoughts about something, or you find yourself unable to make a decision because the Two of Wands energetically brings this kind of energies, simply live in the moment until the right solution presents itself to you. The time period between March 1st to March 10th will be very significant this year, as something will happen, a successful occurrence that will mark the end of a cycle, and you can expect that one of your deepest desires will manifest around that time. Make sure you avoid excess this week, particularly in drinking alcohol, and enjoy the good energies of these days. For Libra, we had the King of Cups and now the Four of Pentacles. This week you will probably have to deal with someone who's setting too many rules in a professional or personal relationship. This person may be a water sign or ascendant, as the King of Cups that you had last week represents, which would be Pisces, Scorpio or Cancer. And it's clear that they want to take leadership of the situation and have it on their own terms. The Four of Pentacles is the card of possession and possessiveness, and for that reason they may not be willing to let go of something or someone, and they want to keep what they have at all costs. And maybe the person they want to keep and control is you, in which case that would cause some friction in your relationship, especially if you feel that things are not fair or balanced. However, there seems to be some stability in this situation, or some sort of comfort zone that those who are involved in are unwilling to leave, and there might be patterns of behavior that keep repeating, but you need to ask yourself whether this situation is healthy and whether it serves your best interests. In any case, you will not be very open to changes this week. On the contrary, you will probably try to maintain the status quo by holding on to an idea, an expectation, or a specific outcome that you have in mind, and such as the intensity of this energy that you may end up being obsessed with a certain result that you have in mind. On the other hand, since the Four of Pentacles is Mars in Capricorn, you will feel that this week you can make some very solid and strategic plans about your love life, your professional life, which if you have the patience to pursue and realize will produce excellent results. Although this week emotions will not be expressed very easily, as under this energy there's a tendency to hold back, sexual drive will be strong and you will experience some very intense moments. The dates between 10 and 19 January seem to be very important, and maybe you bought something expensive then, or you are thinking of buying or having something of great value. And the message of the Four of Pentacles indicates that whatever that might be, it will last for a long time. For Scorpio, we had the King of Pentacles, and now it's the Ace of Wands. The energy you were dealing with last week is opening now a door for you, or has triggered a new beginning. And the person, probably a male of an earth sign or ascendant, Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus, seem to be involved in this. It's possible that this week, this person will come to you with an invitation, an offer, or an idea that will be very promising and will put things on a new basis. This week you will feel full of energy, motivation and inspiration, and you will be able to attract opportunities that will get you fired up and ready to take action. Someone will show you that they feel very attracted to you, and they will probably show that with actions, not so much with words. So look at what they do and what kind of messages they are trying to give you. However, keep in mind that there's a long way to go with this person, as your connection seems to be quite new or it's stuck in the early stages of development. And aces show potential, so even if the start was slow or things slow down at some point, you will get the chance to take it to the next level. Remember, this week is about what you want to do. Under this energy, you will want to pursue the thing or the person you want. You won't sit back and wait. You will go after what you want. Also, under the energy of this ace, expect that things will speed up, much more than last week at least, because the King of Pentacles of last week is a rather slow energy, while this ace is high energy, fire card. You will receive good news and a message that will probably arrive sooner than you expect. The Ace of Wands foretells good news for career too, and you may get an offer for a job that you will find very interesting. This week you will be surprised in a very pleasant way because something will come up that will remind you of what you are capable of. So something may happen totally unexpected, but very positive nonetheless, and you will be swept away by a sudden burst of inspiration. For Sagittarius, we had the Ace of Wands and now it's the Sun. Something you started last week, or an inspiration you had, or a new situation you're exploring will progress in a very positive way this week. You will be very clear and straightforward, no mind games, no confusion or uncertainty. You will know what you want and what you need to do, and you will do it properly. You will see things in the light of day as they really are, and there will be improvement and positive energies. You will experience fun and joy this week, and there will be a very pleasant meeting. Sexual energies will be very intense too. And if you are wondering how another person is feeling about you, they seem to care a lot, and their feelings are warm, intense, and clear. They have a great time with you, and they really enjoy your company. The Sun is the central point of our solar system, and that's why this card foretells that you will be in the spotlight this week, which means that other people will notice you more, and they will be more attentive to your needs, more responsive, and more open and willing to listen to what you have to say. That's why this is a good week to have an important conversation or to resolve a misunderstanding. Don't forget that the Sun is a card of healing too, so that's a great energy if you've been sick or if you are in need of emotional healing. This is a very favorable time if you want to come out in the open with something, if you want to talk openly about your feelings, or if you want to clarify a situation. Children may require your attention this week, or there might be someone who has a childish temperament which often gets them in trouble, and you will help them understand things they cannot see for themselves. The Sun has a 12-month cycle, and that's why it's possible that these days something you started a year ago is coming to completion, or that something you will start this week will have a 1-year cycle. For Capricorn, we had the 8 of Cups and this week the 10 of Swords. The 8 of Cups you got last week and the 10 of Swords you have now call for a detached approach towards the situation, so you will probably decide to take a step back and take distance from something or someone that appeared to be taxing and painful. However, there will be a clear realization too, so even if this week seems to come with some hard truths, some difficult conversations, and perhaps a difficult decision too, at the same time, it can mark the time when you finally figure out those negative patterns that no longer serve you and have messed things up for you numerous times in the past. The good news is that very soon the universe will allow you to start a completely fresh slate. So if you've been dealing with a draining and challenging situation in your personal or professional life, you are now at the end game, and it won't be long until you will be given the chance for a new beginning. However, since things are still unfolding and there is a final stage you need to experience, so this isn't over yet, you do need to keep your expectations low, especially if you can sense that the priorities of those who are involved in this situation are not really aligned. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, it seems that for their own reasons they are blocking their feelings, and their feelings can turn downright sour and negative if they feel that you are pushing them in a way that they don't want, and they may get very vindictive too. Under the energy of this card, you need to be very careful, and it's best that you keep to yourself and avoid saying much about the situation. It's very easy to be misunderstood, and you may enter a battle that you cannot win at this stage. If you feel that someone is acting weird and you feel that something about them is off, you are probably right. Don't try anything at this stage and give it 10 days or so that things become more clear and you will know what you're dealing with. More so since the 10 of Swords is the Sun in Gemini, and this Sun is like a chameleon that changes all the time. So you won't be able to trust what you see or what you hear this week. But if you have the ability to adapt quickly to new situations, you will surely benefit from this energy, and you will actually get some new doors open for you, and new and supportive people will come into your life. For Aquarius, it was the Strength, and now it's the 10 of Pentacles. You will find that you are making big progress this week. The Strength you got last week indicates effort, patience, perseverance that appear to pay off this week as something comes to a very successful completion. And there might be a practical matter that you are dealing with, a matter involving money, real estate, a big company or a big organization, or your family, and that's something very important that you will manage to see through this week. And whatever this might be, it will help you establish a strong foundation to build upon in the coming months. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, they seem to have a rather conservative approach towards your connection, and they seem to be very loyal to traditions or family values, which probably means that there are certain influences around them, other people who are influencing the situation and by extension your connection too. That means if they see you as a threat to their security or stability, they may decide to block you one way or another. Or maybe it's you who wants to be protective of your family and values, and you may not have a very loving approach to things at this stage, but you will definitely have a very sensible approach. Compared to the Strength, which is a fire card, the 10 of Pentacles suggests a slow down or a stop, at least as false hopes or fantasies are concerned. So you will have a much more realistic view of the situation, but you will also be more supportive to each other too, and practical to what can be done. If something significant happened between 12 and 22 September, it's very possible that one way or another you will have to deal again with that energy or that person, or perhaps a cycle that started back then is now being completed. Astrologically, the Ten of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo, and this energy will give you the gift of communication. You will be able to express your thoughts in such an ordered and concise way that you will be able to win any argument and you will be able to understand the bigger picture. Such skills will be highly appreciated this week, either in personal or professional relationships, because they will allow you to play on your terms and set your own rules eventually. For Pisces, we had the Seven of Wands, and this week it's the Moon. The Moon is such an intense water energy. The resistance and opposition you had to face last week with the Seven of Wands must have caused some confusion, as you probably started questioning whether you should continue to defend yourself, your position and your views, or you should now consider the views and options that other people give you. Under the energy of the Moon, things will be rather distorted and confusing, and insecurities and fears you may have about how a situation would progress can now become amplified, and that won't help much if you need to make a decision. But it's advisable that you don't make any decisions this week. Strange and unexplained feelings may come to the surface, and there will probably be some sort of challenge that you will have to face. But keep in mind that appearances can be very deceptive now. If you're wondering about how someone is feeling about you, there are big mood swings and emotional ups and downs, and their feelings change all the time, like the phases of the moon. So one day they feel one way and then another day another way. I know that some readers don't agree with what I'm about to say, but for me the moon is a romance card, but it's the stage of romance when you don't know what's going on. All kinds of insecurities may arise. So for instance, you like someone, but you have no idea if they like you back, or if they have another, or if you are in an established relationship, you may have commitment fears or insecurities, difficulty to trust another. All those issues will come out this week. The moon has a 1-month cycle, and from now until mid-February, for another 28 days, give or take, you will be dealing with the current issues, and you will see very different facets of those issues, all the different aspects of them. But that will help you to see things from all different angles and decide if emotionally you can find a certainty, a balance within yourself, and transcend those fears, analyze and resolve those unhealthy patterns that they may be repeating in your relationships. So when the month is over, you will have a much better understanding of what is going on in your life. So these were the tarot horoscopes for the week of January 17th to January 23rd. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you next week.